The Movie Critic began as an 8-part series. Brad Pitt's Cliff Booth wasn't part of it, says Tarantino. Filmmaker Quentin Tarantino famously and abruptly canceled his 10th film, The Movie Critic, last year in pre-production. After much speculation as to why, the writer or director is finally shedding light on some of the many rumors out there about his Deep Six movie and, in the process, revealing tons of new details. On a 2-hour podcast conversation with a fan podcast, The Church of Tarantino, Tarantino revealed that The Movie Critic began its life as an 8-part TV series that would have starred Brad Pitt. At the time, many people assumed this was Bounty Law. Read more. Quentin Tarantino wants to do theater and talks Movie Critic, and Star Trek misinformation. Tarantino explained that the entire affair was finished in June 2022, when he announced at a New York event that he had a miniseries on the way. But then, when he started the process, he realized it was so good that it could be a movie. When I was in New York, I had just finished the 8th episode, he explained. I had written it, and I was just getting ready to start the process of going around to the different networks and showing them episodes. Because I had them all, it's not like I only had a pilot. I'll give them all of them. It's a long process, and I was just right at the beginning of it. The 8-episode series was The Movie Critic. After I did the work of writing the 8 episodes, I was very happy with it, and I was like, oh, this has worked out really well. This will be cool. I think once I was done, now I was faced with the hard work in front of me of setting it up, and I didn't really want to do it that much, he continued. That's maybe too strong a word to say, but it was more like, if I like this so much, could it be a movie? Is it really a movie? And that was just enough of a question that made me want to investigate. Let me try writing it as a movie, and let me see if it's better that way, Tarantino said, walking the interviewer through his own self-reasoning. It'll be an interesting experiment. Anyway, having written 8 episodes of a series and trying to make it into a 2-hour movie. Tarantino then explained why The Movie Critic went away, which you can read about in detail here. But perhaps more interesting was Tarantino's debunk that The Movie Critic morphed into the upcoming The Adventures of Cliff Booth, which David Fincher is about to direct, and that Cliff Booth was also in The Movie Critic. In fact, they are distinctly separate stories and films. Support independent movie journalism to keep it alive. Sign up for the playlist newsletter. All the content you want, and, oh, right, it's free. The Movie Critic is a spiritual sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, insofar as they take place in the same world and they take place in the same town. But there were no crossover characters, he explained. Cliff Booth was never in The Movie Critic. That's all a bunch of bullshit. That never was the case ever. Ever. It is the same town except set in 1977, as opposed to 1969. There you have it. And perhaps reason number 1,000,001 why you shouldn't take everything the trade say as gospel. Clearly they got their wires crossed in the original reporting that claimed Booth part of The Movie Critic, and that film morphed into The Adventures of Cliff Booth's spiritual sequel. Listen to this excellent full podcast conversation below.